Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of the Money Attraction Challenge. I'm going to wait for the Money family to join us and bring all the energy and all the excitement. I have a special treat for you all today. And I want to make sure that you're all here. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Money family. I love it. Thanks, Candace. Candace knows how we do. Hey, Money family. I absolutely love that you guys are all here. Love that look at you. I love it. We're with family, where we are with family. And today we're talking about permission to be wealthy. So I absolutely hope that you're ready. I'm going to do some recap of where we've gone so far this week as all the people join us. Hey, Lynn, all of our Money family friends join us today. I love that you guys, I absolutely love that you come in here. Hello, Money family, because that's what we are, family. You might not have a place in your real family where you can dream big, massive financial dreams, but here in the Money family, that's how we roll. So welcome. I'm going to ask you guys, I'm so excited. I am going to ask you right now to trust me in a way that you might not even, I know you guys trust and love me as it is, but I'm going to ask you to take it up a notch, because what's in store for you today, I promise you want everybody in your life to know about. Any person that you care even a little tiny bit about, and you just have the desire for them to have a better life, you want to tag them to watch this video. And don't just tag them, literally give them the instructions. Watch this. It will change your life. Do that. Tag a friend and say, watch this. It will change your life. Share this video, do a watch party, whatever you need to do. This is not only a gift to you. I want you to help me make today a gift to your entire world. I want all of Facebook to be on this live, because what I'm going to share with you changed my life, and I want it to change your life. And I want to ask you to contribute to changing the lives of more people than I can reach just by sharing this video. So if you would do that, that would be awesome. Hello. I love it. Tag a friend. I love it. Lisa, you know how to do it. Lisa says, watch this. It will change your life. Just like what Lisa did. That's what I want you guys all to do. So as you're joining, I want to ask you guys, how was money trauma yesterday? We talked about money trauma, and I know it was a lot. It was intense to come face to face with the reality that you have had some traumatic experiences in your life around money. And turning on that light for you yesterday, I know it was a shining stadium light, because for many of you, those of you that I spoke to on the phone were like, oh my gosh, Tasha, I cried and cried and cried. And it was a release cry. It was a cry of, now I understand why I'm in that washing machine with money, why I'm on the hamster wheel, why it feels like a roller coaster all the time in my finances. I see, I get it. It was a bright flashlight. I love that. It was a bright flashlight. It surely was. But I just want my intention and my heart's desire is for all of you that went through that, and you identified either one or all 13 of the money traumas, or anywhere in between, but that you saw it, you gave yourself permission to release it and to transform it. My desire is that by turning on that light, you just understood. No wonder I struggle so much, and it feels like, I just can't get to where I want to be financially. Oh my gosh, I have all this trauma subconsciously working against me. And once you know that, I promise you everything is going to begin to change. It is. We're going to have to continue to do some work. Yes. But just the knowing, I said on Clubhouse this morning, just knowing what's going on for me is like a freedom ticket. When I'm struggling and worrying and anxious and I can't figure out why things aren't working, no matter how hard I work, that feels like a trap and prison, like a noose around my neck. But the moment I understand what's going on, it's like, all right, freedom. So I hope you guys did the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you. Yes, I acknowledge I've had some money traumas. I've had some things in my life that created trauma for me around money. And you just say the healing prayer to begin the work. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And that prayer is to yourself. I love you, Tasha. I love you. You say your name. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. That simple prayer is is immeasurable in the healing process. That simple thing. And so that I wanted that to be my gift to you to start the journey yesterday. But today, we begin a new financial reality. Today, we're talking about your permission to be wealthy. Your permission to be wealthy. Today starts a new day, a new life, your new financial life. And to begin, we gave you $888,000. $888,000. I want you guys, how did you spend that? We said, make one of your dreams come true. How many of us have dreams that we're not living because it's like, oh, if only I had the money? Well, you have it. You have $888,000 of play pretend money that you can just go make a dream come true. What dream would you make come true? I know for me, this was super easy. I filled out my sheet this morning, right? It was super easy for me. This has been my dream. I have an $888,000 villa right on the beach in some exotic location. It is beautiful and amazing, and I'm so excited. And I own it. Free and clear, cash, done, forever. My kids get it, my grandkids get it, the whole family can enjoy it forever. I'm not sure exactly where in the world it is, but it's on a beach and it's beautiful. How did you guys spend your money? And one last thing I want to say before I bring on the gift. You know, I've done this challenge. It's been a couple times that we've done it, and we've had to change it up a few times. One of the things that I've observed, and oh, by the way, it's me. I'm the one that comes up with the amount of money you have to spend every day, what you have to spend it on. I sit there and I put a lot of thought into this. But the first couple of times we did the challenge, on day one would be money to spend on you. So the first 3 or 4 times on day one, we gave people money to spend. And you know what happened? What I realized? Everyone started posting, I'm going to spend the money on my business. I'm going to buy my husband a gift. I'm going to take my kids. People had the hardest time spending the money on themselves. And then on day two, we said, here is money for you to give away or to give to someone or to donate. And everybody did that within hours. It was like, shoo, done. And I want to point out, I just want you to look, if you notice, I changed it. This time, day one, I gave you money to give away. Because what I realized was people have the hardest time standing for what they deserve and for themselves with money. And if you can't do it, if you can't easily spend $8,000 to lavish you of pretend money, then I just want you to pause and think, what is the message that you're giving the universe about giving you more? If you can't receive it for you and easily say, I deserve this and I'm going to easily spend this on me and not for a moment think of anybody else but you, what is the message that you're giving about your deservingness for more? Right? And then the other thing that I noticed on this journey is as the money increased, because every day you notice it started at $888 and today you have $888,000. As the money increased, people had a harder time figuring out how to spend it. And we talk about the psychology of money. And I know it's fun and games and you're having fun spending money, but I want you to know this little mastermind here, this scientist. I have a whole scientific thing going on that I'm going to divulge to you right now. We all say we want more money. You want more money? You want financial freedom? We all raise our hands. And yet, when we are given more money to play with and to determine how we're going to spend it, the more money we get to do that, the harder it becomes. And remember, everything is first a thought. So what I want you to just check in on yourself is it getting harder for me to spend more money? Because if you're asking for more money, but it's getting harder for you to pretend and play with more money, then where are you really in your thinking? Right? Is it really the abundance that you say, I believe in abundance? I really do. I believe I'm meant to be wealthy. I believe I'm meant for financial freedom. Are you really there? Just think about that. All right. Okay. So I want to tell you all that my birthday is this Sunday. On Sunday, happy birthday to me. And I've been thinking, what could be a gift that I could share with all of you that is so beyond that is so beyond, that's in celebration of my birthday, but it's my gift to you. And yes, this entire week is a gift. And those of you that said yes yesterday to come in on the journey with us and you enrolled in our program, that's a massive gift. Your life is going to change forever. And it's a big birthday gift that I'm humbled that you would choose Diane and I to be your guides. But this moment here, this one, this one is a massive gift. You can thank me later. You can thank me. Happy birthday from me to you. But this woman that I'm going to share with you has been the catalyst for my transformation. And when I reached out to her just last week, we've been planning this challenge for months. And just last week, it just came into my spirit to ask her to be here. And she said yes. So thank you to her too. Remember, you guys, share. It's about to get crazy. By the way, buckle up for her energy. If you think my energy is off the charts, buckle up for this woman that's coming on. But I want you all to type right now, because here is the truth, right? Success leaves clues. Can you please go ahead, take your little fingers, cute as they are, and type that in the comments so that a new little pathway gets created in your subconscious mind before she even begins to speak. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. What I want you to know when you write that is this. You can either continue to try to figure it out the hard way, right? You can either try to figure this all out the hard way, or you can take the clues of those who have succeeded and follow them. Me, I'm 47 years old this Sunday. I'm done trying to figure it out. I don't know about you. I don't want to figure anything else out for myself. If someone else has done it, I want to follow their trail. I want them. I pay for people to guide me who have already gone where I want to go. I'm not going to sit here and spend more time, the most precious commodity, trying to figure this out. I don't know about you, but that's my position, right? I want the easy and relaxed way. I want the people who've gone ahead of me to give me the clues and I just pick them up and follow along. So success leaves clues. And with that, here is, hold on, let me take this off because I want you to see her in full. Giselle!
Hi, Tasha! Hug!
Big hugs! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Happy
Mm.
birthday, Tasha!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Giselle, okay, Tasha, get yourself together. So, thank you for saying yes just last week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, you're welcome,
Um,
you're welcome.
those of you that have been in our family and those of you that are on our programs, we have some of Giselle's messages in there. So I know the people in the family, you already know Giselle and love her. And those of you that are brand new here today, just get ready for this treat. So let me just tell you about Giselle. I met Giselle, wow, 12, 13, 14 years, a long time ago now. And for me, I was my first time meeting someone who embodied wealth beyond the money. And what I mean by that was, yes, you read books, you watch TV, you see movie stars, there are really wealthy people out there, and it just, they're out there. Well, a friend of mine invited me to Giselle and her husband John's home here in the town that I live in. And I went over, and when I walked in, my mouth was just open, and I just kept watching them because what I was seeing was, yes, the physical evidence of wealth. Where they live is, I'll tell you about it in a minute, but I saw the physical evidence of wealth. But as I observed them, they were happy, they were healthy, they were in love. I was like, wait a second, do not compute. Wait, I thought wealthy people were
Yeah,
mean and greedy,
ah.
and all this stuff. And there were. And that meeting changed my life. Her husband saw me gawking, and he came over and he said, Tasha, everything that you see here is because of a certain set of things I've done. And I'm going to give you the keys to success. And he gave it to me. He gave it to me freely, just like that, in a conversation. And I'll share more about that later on. But what I love about Giselle's story, and I brought her on today because I want you to experience wealth. I want you to experience what it's like to see somebody in the flesh who went from, Giselle, are you okay with me sharing this part?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. 3 mortgages on her home, balloon mortgages too. You all know how that works. A ton of credit cards. My memory wants to say 30. I might not remember the number, but I remember they were maxed out. They were all, how many ever of them they were? They were
26.
all, how many?
26.
26 credit cards maxed out,
Yeah.
3 balloon mortgages on the house, 5 kids. If there was ever a person that you would say, no chance ever for it to happen for, it would be this woman and her family, right? And Giselle, we live in a town where we have, there's a community on a little island here where the very wealthy, iconic families of America live in a gated community. You literally have to give DNA to get in. But the beach is public access. Thank you, God, for public access to the beach, right? Giselle would go walking.
It's true.
Giselle, with all this in her financial reality, would go
Yeah.
walking on that beach, and she could see the homes of these
Yeah.
mega wealthy families. And she would say to herself, what do they do?
Yeah.
And she would ask her husband, as they're battling their financial situation, what do they do? And he would say, something we don't know, something we're not doing. And so Giselle, not knowing what they did, began to visualize that her and her family were living in this community. And within 24 months of doing this process, built a home in that community, cash.
It's true. Absolutely
Cash.
true. Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah. After paying all the debt.
Paying all the debt.
Yeah.
She didn't just get a little mortgage or rent a little spot in there. Built a home on the water.
Yep.
Cash. How much time? 24 months. And bought a luxury car, $90-something thousand, wrote a check, cash. So you guys, this week, you've all been getting all this money to spend.
True.
What if it could happen like that for real? I invited Giselle on because for me, she continues to be my thing in my back pocket that it is real. This way of living, the certain way, is real.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what she used
yes,
to create this lifestyle. So Giselle?
Yes, it is.
She went on, by the way, to make, you're not going to believe this number. It's going to make you go, what? Well over $350,000 a month.
Yeah.
For well over 25 years. Just, can you even compute that number, you guys? $350,000 a month for well over 25 years. When Giselle walked the beach, she didn't know how she was going to live that lifestyle. She had no clue. I'm sure what ended up happening, she could have never imagined.
It's true.
It's true.
So
this opportunity comes to you, Giselle, as you're dreaming. And the story I love is the one with Kay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was the moment.
Tell us.
Okay, so Tasha has really set it up wonderfully. And I want to repeat, success leaves clues. Open your heart, and get it. Because for me, it was one moment. Tasha said, my husband was very crystal clear about doing things a certain way. And he always knew that this wealth, he always said that the universe wanted us. The universe had abundance for every single one of us. It's there. And the only reason we humans interfere with that is we have self-imposed limitations. So I had my whole set of self-imposed limitations, like you wouldn't believe it. But in the process of opening up, we were already involved in this new venture that my husband had totally said, we're going to be rich. And in that particular business venture, I come across an amazing woman. Her name was Kay Smith. And Kay, she very tall, much taller than me. And in this particular business that I was in at the time, she said she befriended some of my business people. And immediately I was like, oh, the self-imposed limitations that I had said, what does she want from me instead of what is she adding to me? So I went to meet her, but with a real filter of crazy stuff that what does she want to take from me? So it was me, the one that was putting that there, not her. I get to this beautiful dinner. We're sitting there having the dinner with my friends that were in my business that introduced me to her. And we happened to be colleagues in the same environment. So she was brand new. My husband and I and my friends had been a little bit longer engaged in this enterprise. And she was brand new, but she had been a millionaire in the past. And she fell in love with the entire outfit of the business. So she came on board, and at this dinner, she says, well, I know how to do business. I know what to do because there's no limitations here. And within 12 months, I will be making $100,000 a month. And I was insulted. I thought, we have been this 18 months, 20 months, and we're stuck at $5,000 a month. I looked at her because I thought that's the way she wants to impress my people so she can have influence over them and take something away from me. Crazy limitations, right? I looked at her and I said, you obviously do not understand this business. In her wisdom, if there's someone, and Tasha, you said that I, in some way, was that person that brought on those lights for you. That's what this woman did for me. She broke through my self-imposed limitations in a way that I cannot even describe it. She saw them. She looked at me, surprised that I said that. She stood up. She looked down at me straight in my eyes. And she said, honey, that's your limitation. So physically, I have to tell you that it was like something, it was bigger than a flashlight, Tasha.
Like a floodlight, right?
It was like those self-imposed limitations melted with that light. And all of a sudden, I looked at her with honesty, with sincerity, with love. None of that other yucky stuff that was there.
Yeah.
And she totally came from this space that she believed everybody had the right to abundance and that nobody had a monopoly on it, that the universe was bigger than anybody could ever take from, and that your share of that was there for you. You just had to claim it. And I got all that in one simple thing of her saying, honey, that's your limitation. So the rest is history, because 24 months from the moment I met Kay, the universe delivered. And that $5,000 a check in 24 months became close to $200,000 a month. And the company is still there. I am now going to be 67 years old in October. I have 5 adult kids. I have 7 grandchildren. I live on the beach. I live on the mountains. It's been the most amazing life. If I could push replay, I would. But I need to let you know that when Tasha texted me, my connection with Tasha is a universe given one. I respect that. I honor it. The love is unbelievable. And if she asks, I deliver. So here I am, because I don't know, in this family that I've been welcomed to join. And I really appreciate your love, and you're bringing me in. And I want to welcome you into my living room.
You
Because if
have
we
to
were
show
sitting
the
here,
view of the beach before you
yeah,
go, before you're done.
yeah, yeah. So the amazing thing was, and I know I don't have a lot of time, but I want to just touch on another little story, because this had to do with my husband. And my husband was reading all the time. So we lived this amazing 36 years with this company that has been the business vehicle that allowed us to create our own well-deserved universe-given abundance. That it came from that place, I never knew that it was going to come from there, but I welcome that. And my heart's open, my life is open, and I'm never now going like, oh no, what are you going to take from me? It's what am I going to give you?
Wow.
Because I know, because I have lived it, that there is plenty, enough for everybody, because the universe intends you to live an abundant life. And I think that the most important way we can see it is how the planet shows it to us every year. 4 seasons. After winter, if you are in a climate like I am sometimes in Utah, you see it bigger than you see it anywhere else. But you see from nothing into this amazing abundance of nature. And if you've been through seasons, you need to know that your spring's coming. It's there. You just need to be ready for it, because those self-imposed limitations are something that you just need to develop a skill. So this is the last thing I'm going to tell you, but my husband read a lot, and there was a book called, I don't remember the book, but it was by Joe Dispenza. I know that you know the book, Tasha,
Yes,
but
yes.
I was happy. I was watching a television show one day, and the television show had nothing to do with the book. The television show was 60 minutes, and there was this 12-year-old girl that was being interviewed, because in her life, since the time she was 2 years old, she had been writing music to the level of Mozart. And by 12, she had composed and directed an entire opera. And she had completed that in Vienna when I was watching the 60-minute interview, because she was being interviewed because she was bringing her opera to California. I happened to catch the interview, just like the universe delivered this message to me. So I'm watching this, and this girl, blonde, blue-eyed, says, the interviewer says to her, Alma, do you know that in the music world, they refer to you as the second Mozart? And she opened her eyes and she smiled and she said, so I've heard. But they could call me the first Alma. And I went like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. I gotta listen to her. I stopped what I was doing in the kitchen. I sat down in front of the television. And the second thing she said was amazing. Pay attention to this. Because she said to the man said to her, he said, you've been writing music since you once 2 year old. How do you do that? She looked at him at 12 years old and she says, I hear it all the time. And he was surprised by her answer. And he says, well, that's remarkable. And her answer was, oh, what I find remarkable is that you don't hear it. Well, I was like, okay, wow, I want to hear it. Why can't I hear it? And my answer came the next day when I shared with John. And John, after he watched the show, he picked up the Dispensa book that was on the night table. And he said, honey, you're going to love this chapter. And he started reading out loud to me. And in that Dispensa book, and I want to ask forgiveness because probably this is not what Dispensa wrote, but this is what I remember John reading to me. He said that there was something called the field. And then just like waves, internet waves. I mean, here I am. You're in my living room, and I am in the living rooms of all over the world, wherever Tasha connected me to be. Right? So these waves put us all together. Well, in the same way those waves do that, there's this invisible waves that he described in his book as the field. So I call that the universe in my own little world. But he said that he was a quantum physics guy or whatever, and he described in the book how Silicon Valley had been able to prove that all the knowledge of the planet, all the knowledge of the universe could be placed in a drop of water. So he said he did not believe in music prodigies, which is what his girl was being interviewed as. He said he believed that that field, that wavelength, that universe that's among us was there for everybody. But the reason we didn't tap and hear it like Alma did is because of our self-imposed limitations. I know yesterday you did a tremendous exercise looking at those limitations. Good job. Forget
Yeah.
it. You know
Yes.
what? Everybody has them. So what? When they pop up, my word is cancel, cancel. I scream at them, get out of here. So in the book, John keeps reading and he said, some of you don't think you're crazy. Sometimes you hear your loved ones that have passed on and you hear them talking to you in your dreams, or you hear them talking to you. And John said, that's you, Giselle. You hear your grandmother every time you're cooking. And it was
Yeah.
true. I always said to John, I hear Abu. And I hear her clearly. And he would laugh at me because he said, that's just your subconscious. But Dispensa said, no, all that knowledge, Abu's there talking to me. I hear her because at that moment when I'm cooking, I free myself from those self-imposed limitations. And bingo, I tap into it. So
Mm.
I love Dispensa. I think that he brought some clarity into the way I encounter this. But for me, walking the beach, Tasha, feeling the abundance of the energy that came out of this abundant world. I didn't know the people that lived there. My reality at the time was 26 maxed out credit cards, 3 mortgages, the pressure of a balloon payment, a very horrible, if you want to call it, environment. But you know what? I saw and I created and overrided, or I don't know how to say that word, that existence.
Yeah.
And I created something that had no time. And all of a sudden, walking the beach in that amazing, vibrant energy, the universe delivered that abundance. And for 36 years, I've only been grateful. So there's got to be two things, I think. You have, and I think that this is something that Tasha says it better than I could possibly say. There's no stress to making money
Mm.
because you have to be in a place of love. So, regardless of the condition, you have to see and be able to live in the reality of a different vibration than whatever you're experiencing today.
Right now. Yeah.
moving, it's like magic. I cannot explain it. But all I know is that your heart and your brain have to match up, and you need to come from love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow you got to balance that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking, Giselle, the thing is, I know so much of your story, so I want to say, can you talk about this and talk about this and talk about this? I
I can
want
always come
to.
back.
Yes. Did you guys hear that? We have proof. She said yes, she
I
will
can
come
always
back.
come back.
One of the things that I realized, and John said something to me one day, which I'm going to remember for the rest of my life because it changed my life. And you and I know that the journey, when Kay said that to you about your limitation, the journey to change is in here,
Yeah.
right? It's all in here. And a lot of us need support getting in here and
Right.
changing it. And John said to me one day, he said, and as soon as I say this, you'll remember him saying it. He said, the thing with human beings is that many of us would prefer to continue to dig trenches for a living for $10 a day,
Yeah.
whatever little amount of money. We really would choose to work that kind of hard for little and nothing
Yeah.
than tap into the unlimited
Unlimited
abundance that's available
it's
here. And listen, I get it. You're like, Tasha, that's true. I needed to get support to excavate it. I really did. I couldn't
right.
see what I couldn't see, right? And I
Right.
needed support and guidance to tap into how to do that.
Right.
Because everything that we're saying, I know you all believe. But the next story was one day, you're probably going to be shocked that I remember all these stories, but one day, John took you to a barber shop.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because we all have
Yeah.
these defining moments.
Yeah.
And John and Giselle were starting their
Yeah.
business. And by the way, you're all asking, what is it? So the vehicle that came into their life was network marketing, and the
Right.
company was New Skin.
Correct.
And it continues to bless their family 30 something years later, right?
40.
But
We still receive income from 47 countries.
wow, that's another story. To do
Yeah.
that, she put a map up and thumbtack where she wanted to get money from. So I have all the stories, you guys, and we will bring her back. But this day at the barbershop, because that's where so many of you are in this
That.
moment right here,
Okay.
right? You're hearing all this and you're like, I get it and I want it. I want that. I see you all typing. You've calculated her numbers. And you're like, I want that, right? And it's a defining moment for you all. And that's where Giselle was. The vehicle to this lifestyle had come into their life, and her husband was very clear.
Yeah.
This was it.
Yeah.
This was their answer.
Yeah.
And he pulled her in front of a barber shop and told Giselle, go in
Yeah.
and talk to this barber about our products.
Yep.
And she
So
said, go
so
ahead.
so you have to know that before I met Kay, all those self-imposed limitations were my life. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Mm-hmm.
was at the very beginning, and John understood numbers. John understood business, so he knew we need to make sales. And he said, "This is a product that maybe barbers will be interested in." And what
Yeah.
had happened before going to the barber was that I had results with the product,
Yeah.
and I had my confidence up because the girl that would do my hair saw it, and then I came to John and I said, "Oh, John, I think that I found you a distributor," and he did. And then John, excited that I had done that, he said, "Okay, now you go to this barber shop because you just did it at this other place." But I didn't do it. That had just unfolded clearly because of what had happened. So I
Right.
said, "Oh no." And he goes, "Oh yes." And we go together. And John says to the barber, "Okay, my wife has had tremendous results with this product that we're introducing." And da 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 da. And the barber closed the newspaper, looked at John, looked at me, and said, "I'm not interested. Leave." Listen, in my life, I had never been asked to leave any place. I was so embarrassed that we get in the car, and I was just looking at my husband like I wanted to kill him. And I said, Never again are you going to put me in a condition like this. He looked at me and he said, you know, Giselle, here we are, the universe delivering to us a possibility that can bring abundance to our life. And you're going to allow a barber that maybe 25 years from now is dead or dead broke to get in the way of us tapping into that abundance? How are you going to explain it to our children? That's why I say love, because the love my husband had for me that Tasha describes was magical, still is. The love as a family we had has been unbelievable. And that love took me to go through that to the other side of, I'm not doing this. The barber wins.
The barber wins. That story. I mean, you again, guys, you can see clearly why I say this family, this woman and her husband have changed my life. I mean, I'm blessed to have sat at their feet and learned so much. But this story right here with this barber, this took me over the edge. And I wanted Giselle to share. I didn't even prep her. I know I didn't. I totally just put her on the spot. Because as I was listening to her thinking, I remember that story because I realized for so many of you, this is where you are, sitting outside the barbershop.
Wow.
I am offering to show you how to tap into this,
Yes.
to align to the abundance.
And Tasha can do that. Tasha can do it. I know her. Listen, I had John. John helped me. I had Kay. Kay helped me. You have Tasha. You're the luckiest.
Bless you, Giselle. But you know, that's where you are, and you're sitting right there right now, and it's a defining moment. And it's like you're not here by chance. John didn't drive up to that barber shop by chance. You know, the gift that experience gave Giselle was an opportunity to move beyond the defining moment.
Yes.
And so we've invited you to continue on this journey. And what I see happening is so many people sitting in the car going, not yet. No. Just feeding the limitations, just continuing to feed the limitations for whatever I don't know how much it's going to cost, or not right now. I don't have the time, or whatever limitation you're coming up with. I don't even know what they are, but I know you might be stuck in them. And the question really is, like John asked Giselle, are you going to allow, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's whatever it is, we get so creative in coming up with things, whatever you've come up with, really, are you going to allow yourself in this moment to say no to access to the abundance? Yeah, that's real. I want you to hear that.
And you know, Tasha, I don't want to make nothing of the times we're living. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But then again, it's that wavelength at a higher intensity is the same wavelength that I was in with the pressure of the credit cards and the mortgage and all that. And I don't know how to say it in a scientific way. I just know that I have lived it. And in the Science of Getting Rich book, there's a chapter where he talks about the power that we are given by our Creator, that power to create. Every single one of us have it. And what we create can be imprinted in this formless form that makes a reality. We have no right to create anything other than productive things. This particular chapter, it took me years to get it. But he said, in the universe, there will be pandemics, there will be famine, there will be all these things. And you have no right to give it any consideration. The minute you do that, you take away from the abundance the universe wants to give you.
Yes.
You need
Yes.
to, what I call it in my little words, is you got to guard your attitude with your life.
Another thing that's
Okay,
stuck in my
sorry.
head.
Listen, I can talk for 3 years, you know that, and I
Okay,
know
one
that you
last
have
thing
limited
before you
time.
go.
I don't want
One
to do
last thing
that.
before you go, because I've heard you say this, right? And I want everyone to type something after you say this. But you said, I manifested multi-millions, and you said the one thing, we don't live with regrets, right? But the one thing you learned is, why didn't I ask for bigger, for
Yes,
more?
yes, yes, because I still put a limitation. So you have to be crystal clear, never to be so specific that you limit it. If you're going to use an amount, it's the equivalent of and more
More.
and more. Never finite it, because if you put that finite, that's what you're going to get. So, so every time I see something coming my way, I say, why only one? Why only two? Why only that? There's room for more.
There's room for more. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for my birthday present and everybody
Yeah.
else that got to enjoy it.
Happy birthday, Tasha. I love you.
Mwah. I love you,
Bye bye,
Giselle. Thank you
everybody.
so much.
See you the
Bye.
next time.
Show us the beach. Can you show us the
Yeah,
beach?
yeah, 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 yeah.
You guys, you have to see this. Look at her running. She's a tiny little thing too. All right, you guys, that's what we're using our money to buy today. Giselle's view.
I love you guys.
Love you. Bye, Giselle.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. So here it is. I am telling you right now, I want all of you to type, I am dreaming a bigger dream. Every single one of you type that. You heard from Giselle. She manifested all her dreams and said, wow, why didn't I dream bigger? So you have a chance right now, wherever you are, to start dreaming bigger. So all of you type, I am dreaming bigger. I'm adding a zero. I'm adding a zero to everything that I've asked for. And then I want you to define this moment. Those of you that you've been here, you know it is your right to be rich. It is your right to be wealthy. You deserve it. And you have been on the fence. Should I continue? What should I do? Is it going to cost money? Yeah, it's going to cost money. Are you going to allow that to stop you? Is that what you're going to allow yourself to not say yes to this opportunity to learn how to tap into this abundance? What I want you to see from Giselle is there's a whole other way to live. There is a whole other way to live. You know it. You know that there is. That is what brought you here. You have the desire to experience that. And you just keep waiting. I'm 47 years old on Sunday. Not another moment. I want in. I want it. And I know, I trust in this process. If you came here, it's because you're looking for that too. And your higher self wants to guide you to learn the process for getting it. So right now, it's all you need is guidance. You need either the guidance to believe that you can have it, that you really can have it, and that you deserve it. And because you haven't done that for a while, you're going to need support. You're human. We all do. I needed it too, right? Or you're going to need some support and guidance to make your belief true. That's the easy part. You've done the hard part, worrying. You've done the hard part, getting here. But when you go and you type helpmegetrich.com and you book a call, I want you to know that that moment where you book the call is your defining moment. It's your line in the sand where when you hit click, enter, go, book, whatever happens, when you hit that button, that moment right there ends the old you, the limited you, the just enough you, the struggling and working hard for money, the worrying about money, the staying in the generational situations around money. It ends when you hit that. And your new life of abundance begins when you book that call. Why do I know? Why do I know for sure? Like, I know my name is Tasha. Well, I'm going to invite you to listen to this lady who did that. Dahlia, can you come on and join me? Here she is.
Hello.
Dahlia, last challenge in February, you were right here in this moment. Let me remove this so they can see your name and find you. You were right here in this moment. We got on this call. I happened to get you. So it was you and I that spoke. And you were sitting there in your fears. Oh my God, I want this. I want this. But the money, right? Where? How? You're a voice recording artist. I
Mhm.
mean, you were what Giselle described, just sitting in all the limitations,
Mm,
but you went for it.
yeah.
You scared as heck. You were like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And you did. And share with us what happened, like within 30 days. Just share.
Okay. First of all, happy early birthday. Hey,
Thank
everybody. This
you.
is so awesome. I'm so happy to be here to share this with you guys. So, really quickly, as Tasha said, I had my call with her, and I was freaked out because where I was sitting at that moment, I was all up in my limitations, like just in a like a wooden box kind of thing. I'm literally in a box right now, but not this kind of box, a mental one.
Yeah.
And I was struggling. I really felt the pinch as an artist. I made this my career. I left my corporate job and I'm like, I'm going to go all in. But I didn't know. And I was stuck in trying to figure out the how. I was so linear in my thinking. Everything was black and white. And I couldn't see my way out. And then I just decided I've been following Tasha for a long time. God bless my friend Teresa, who led me here. So if you are one of those people who have a friend that led you here, listen closely and just absorb it all in, because you're meant to be here. And so I just decided to go for it. I'm like, I'm going to work with her and Diane. I'm going to make this happen. And boom, just like that, I got the money. And I mean, I went when Giselle said it's like magic, it really is because you just surrender. I didn't know I was surrendering. I just knew I wanted to place my trust and my faith in Tasha and this process because what I was going through wasn't working. So why not just try something different? Like Tasha said, if there's someone showing you a way that's easier and they have it figured out, why not follow that formula? Like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? We make it so ridiculously hard for ourselves. So I just let go. And letting go was the best thing. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because in 1 month, I made what is it? Almost $7,000. And for me, that was a big deal because I was barely making anything as an artist. I wasn't even booking gigs regularly. So I started getting auditions for Netflix and HBO. I made 7,000 in 1 month. And then I sat there one day, I made $3,000. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really working. Like, how is this even possible? Guys, it doesn't,
I
and
still
that's the
have
point.
that post saved on
Yeah.
my phone where you're like, I made $3,000 today. Oh my God.
Yes. And it was that moment that was the turning point because I allowed myself to go through the process. I'm like, I'm going to listen to everything that they say and I'm just going to I just believe and I'm just going to keep going. But when I saw what I could do in one day, I was like, oh my God, that means I can do so much more. And like Giselle had just previously said, don't put limitations. It's like, there's so much that you can attract. And I've been on this journey since that 1 month. And I can't look back. Like, I can't look back at where my life was without being in so much gratitude to like at where I am now. So even if gratitude wasn't a practice you had before, you develop it and then you become I just like there's just so much joy and like I'm bursting in my heart. Like I just want to explode every day. You know what I mean? Because like and explode out of like joy. Like I can't even sit in my own skin. Like whenever I come in here in the booth, I'm just like, okay, I'm ready. And like my clients are like, oh, your energy is just so big. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, because I just feel so good. I feel aligned. And I don't want to keep rambling, but that's where I'm at, like where I was and where I'm at. And I don't
And
regret
and
it.
and like the money was amazing, right? So you proved to
Yeah.
yourself that you are the creator and you followed the process. You've done, oh my gosh, you have done everything we told you to do. Mwah.
Hmm.
I love
Hmm.
people who do it's like you want to figure it out on your own, keep going. You want
Yeah.
to do exactly what works, here it is, and then
Yeah.
do it, right? And you are so amazing at doing it. So you manifested the money, which is what everybody wants. But
Mhm.
Dahlia, the way you have fallen in love with you. Girl, every time you talk about that, I'm like, can I have some of that, please? Like, that is priceless, isn't it? Like, you came for the money, but you got so much more.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna try to say this without crying, but like I was so hard on myself, and I know that so many of you can relate to this. Like I had a lot of self-loathing and a lot of shame in myself, and I just didn't like who I was, and I never thought I was good enough. And
Mm.
through this process, talk about learning to be intimate with yourself. I mean, like that doesn't sound weird, right? Because I don't mean it in a
We
weird
get
way.
it.
Okay.
We get it.
Okay. Okay. I overthought that for a second. But anyway, but like, yeah, I tapped into something deep inside my heart.
Mm.
And I realized, I even wrote this to Tasha. I'm like, I fell in love with myself. I realized, man, I am awesome just as I am. And I have so much to give. And that, you guys, was is the best thing. That I mean, the money is amazing, but that for me gave me that peace in my heart. And I think that's what cracked open everything so that I can keep manifesting more. Because without that peace, I think I would have still been at a turtle's pace. But once that clicked for me, everything just clicked.
Mwah! Thank you. Thank you so much, because I know someone's watching right now and they're you. They're where you were in February. Guys, this was February. We did the challenge. We started in March and it's August. So that's 6 months later. I'm like, time is crazy, but how much time have you spent on the hamster wheel? A man that's in this challenge sent me a message yesterday. Listen to this, Dahlia. And he knows who he is. I didn't ask for his permission, so I won't say his name, but I know he's watching because I saw him commenting. And he said something that kept me up all night. He said, Tasha, yesterday, he said, when you talked about being on a hamster wheel in my finances, that's me. Except I realize I'm just on the hamster wheel getting older. Kept me up all night. And let me tell you what, I came on here today. I knew I was going to share Giselle with you. I knew Dahlia was going to share. And I really just have to ask you point blank. Let me tell you what, I'm not about selling you on anything. You found your way here because Spirit sold you. God, universe sold you already and brought you here. So I'm not about the business of selling you, but I am about the business of inspiring you to ask yourself a really tough question. How much more time? You can make money. You can make lots of money. You'll always be, money is out there in abundance, but time, how much more time do you want to spend not living the life that you deserve? How much more time? And if you were led here and you believe in with all your heart that you were, then I want to invite you to continue this onto the 120-day journey with us. I want you to book that call. Go to helpmegetrich.com, book that call. And I want you to start thinking about what you're going to be on here 6 months from now, like Dahlia, talking about as the money you manifested. And what's the and that you're going to be sharing, right? Dahlia, I love you. Thanks for being
I love
on.
you too. Can I just say
Mm,
one more thing to everyone
please.
listening? Just
Yes.
one last thing. Don't worry about the how. And Tasha will say this to
Literally, no,
you
hold on.
until, yeah,
Dahlia, pause. I
yeah.
literally looked down and I have a sticky note, so I have to show you.
Oh my God.
I literally have a sticky note and I have it here. They're stuck in the how. I didn't even say anything about it. I look down and I look back at you, and this is God. So those
Yeah.
of you that are stuck in the how, this is your message. Go ahead.
Yeah. That was the message. Just don't worry about the how. I am the ultimate how person. Like, control everything. You know what I mean? I need to know A, B, and C. Even though I'm pretty laid back in my own life, I just need to see everything. Where I'm going, what I'm doing, how it looks like, what it's about. And I let all that go. Just let it go. Don't worry about it. Trust. Thank you for having me on.
Mwah! Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you, Julia. Bye. Bye, you guys. Those of you that have calls booked, I hope you feel really excited. You made that line in the sand. You declared it. This is your defining moment. I am so excited to change your life. Mwah. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to talking to some of you right now. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow at 12. Bye, everyone.